Hello, home buyers. It's Yvonne Hunt, and I am doing the fourth in my series on down payment assistance. In this particular program, we're going to talk about Gwinnett County Homestretch. It's a great program, and I just wanted to share a little bit about it. Gwinnett County has a program that is specifically designed for first-time home buyers. In order to receive this particular down payment assistance, you have to be a first-time home buyer, number one. And at the time that you apply for the program, you have to live or work in Gwinnett County. And of course, the home that you purchase has to be located in Gwinnett County. Applicants must attend an approved 8-hour home buyer education course. It can be either online or in person, whichever you prefer. And the program benefits include that you get up to $10,000 for down payment assistance and closing costs. So if you don't need all of the $10,000 for down payment assistance, based on the FHA program that you use, you need 3.5% for down payment. If you have anything left over, you can use it for your closing costs. It is a 0% interest second mortgage. It is a silent second mortgage, which means that you don't make any payments. It is a deferred 5-year forgivable loan, and we'll talk about what that means in the next slide. Your funds can be used not only for down payment and closing costs, but also for things that are considered prepaid items, right? A prepaid items could be your closing costs, not closing costs, but your inspections. It could also be your appraisal. You can use it for your homeowners uh, association fees, things like that. And applicants can use the lender of their choice. So that's also a plus. Now, who qualifies? So this is targeted not only for first-time home buyers, but they're looking for your low and moderately low incomes. So the program looks at the total household income, not just the person who's applying for the loan. And they were looking for total household income for a household of one. It has to be $63,980 or below. For a household of two, they're looking at $73,100 or below. For a household of three, $82,250 or below. For a household of four, $91,350 or below. For a household of five, $98,700 annually. All these are annual or below. And for a household of six, they're looking for a total income of $106,000. So if the people reside in the household, if it's grandma and it's her social security, if it's dad and mom, even if you have a teenager over the age of 18 and they're working, they look at everybody's income. And these income limits are as of April 18th, 2025. So what I'm going to say to you is that you want to check that chart that is on the provider's website. Look in the description below because I have a link to that website and they will give you a rundown of all the income limits and they update them frequently. All right. Other requirements include a minimum credit score of 580. What I will tell you is that you want your credit score to be higher than that. You want your credit score to be at least 620 and above. And why I say that is because when I talk to lenders, they tell me if your credit score is 580, they're going to want you to put more money down. This program is only going to give you $10,000 of down payment assistance. And if they're looking at a 580 credit score, they want a 10% down payment. What that equates to is you can't buy a house more than 100,000 if you're going to put 10% down. That's $10,000, and I can tell you right now that you're not going to find a house in Gwinnett County for $100,000 that you're going to want to live in. So you want your credit score to be above 600, 620. The higher, the better. Your gross family assets cannot exceed 20,000, of which no more can be $5,000 in cash. So gross family assets cannot exceed $20,000. What that means is that you cannot have a big fat savings account. You cannot have a big fat retirement account that you can borrow against. and you can't have more than $5,000 in liquid cash, because if you have those assets, then they're going to say you don't need this down payment assistance program. Housing ratio. This is where they look at your debt to income ratio. They want to make sure that you're not assuming more debt than you can afford. They want to make sure that your house payment is not more than 43% of your total debt. It's a big deal. And you also want to make sure that your total debt to income ratio is not more than 55% of your total income. So what that means is your housing plus your debt, your monthly debt, your car payment, your credit cards is not more than 55% of your total income. They don't want to set you up for failure. They want to make sure that you can afford your life, basically. So also another requirement is that you must contribute a minimum of $1,000 toward the purchase price of your home. They want you to have some skin in the game. Maximum sales price for a resale home is $349,000. Now, resale home is a house that is already standing, someone else has lived in, they are reselling their home, you're purchasing it. It is not new construction. However, maximum sales price for a new construction home is $410,000. Can you find a new construction home in Gwinnett County for $410,000? Yes, you can. Those are usually homes that are specifically built with the first-time home buyer, low to moderately low income purchaser in mind. So they do exist. In general, most of your big production builders are not building to that price point. I'll be honest. They're just not. They start in the high 400s. I'll be honest. They're not really at this point in time priced for the first-time home buyer, low to moderate income family. However, there are entities out there that are building affordable housing, and they are looking for you. So, and I can point you to those communities. They're out there. Can you buy a resale home for $349,000 in Gwinnett County? Yes, you can. You most certainly can. So those opportunities are out there. You have to occupy that home as your primary residence. So you can't go out there, ask for down payment assistance, and expect to buy a rental property as an investment. You have to live in that home as your primary residence, and I think that's fair. Other things that you need to consider is that you may need additional time for closing. You're not going to be able to do a quick close, a 2 or 3 week closing. In this case, there are more than one set of hands that need to touch your file. You're going to have your lender that has to review your file, make sure everything's groovy, and then approve your file and clear it to close. And then once your lender clears it to close, it has to then go to Gwinnett County, who also has to clear that file to closing and make sure that they release your funds to the closing attorney. Your down payment assistance funds have to be cleared also. New construction lenders may not do down payment assistance. You're going to walk into a new construction lender, just your basic, builder, big production builder, say D.R. Horton, or Parent Homes or whoever. They're not going to do down payment assistance. You're going to have to stick with your lender, or you're going to have to find those builders that specifically build for down payment assistance, first-time home buyers. Those guys are out there. They're waiting for you. And in addition to that, Gwinnett Homestretch can be combined with the down payment assistance grants that they have specifically for you, tied to that down payment assistance or affordable housing project community. So that's a good thing. Look for those. Ask me about them. I know about them here in Gwinnett. Also, if you're applying for these funds late in the year, check the website of Gwinnett County for this program to make sure that there's funds available. They'll let you know if the funds are not available at that time. They do run out of funds. They do get more funds. So it'll tell you temporarily out of funds. Fourth quarter is a time where things get a little thin. So you might have to wait until first quarter of the next year. So just be aware if you're home shopping late in the year. Also, you can use whatever lender you like, but make sure that lender knows Gwinnett County's Homestretch program, because if they're not familiar with it, they don't know the ins and outs, that could further delay your closing. So you want to make sure that they know. Plus, they have to be certified in the program. They have to know what's going on. So make sure you pick a lender that knows about the program. Make sure your agent knows about the program. Obviously, I'm an agent who knows about the program. I'm telling you about the program. So, hello, hello, call me. All right. How do I qualify? How do I know what programs I qualify for? There are 79 programs. If you've watched any of my videos, there are 79 programs in the state of Georgia that are funded either locally, like Gwinnett County Homestretch, either by the county or the city or the municipality. Um, some are funded by the state and some are federally funded. 79 programs. There are other programs that are privately funded by banking institutions. So, in addition to the 79 that are funded by federal, state, and local programs, right? There are private ones. So, well over 79, probably closer to 100 programs are out there, if not more. So, finding out which ones you're qualified for is incredibly simple. Look below in the description of this video. There is a link that will take you to a landing page. It's my landing page. Why would I send you to someone else's? But anyways, go to that and click on that link. Answer the questions in the survey. I'm going to ask you questions like, where do you want to live? How many people are in your family? Are you a veteran? Are you a Native American? How much money do you make? And then you'll get an email. That email will tell you what programs you qualify for. I had a lady fill one out. I want to tell you, she was qualified for like 16 programs, right? So click the link, fill out the survey. You will get an email with the programs that fit your needs. I will get a copy of that program, of that email. I'll have slightly different information than you will get, and that will include lenders and all kinds of other specifics about each program. And then we'll get together and we'll have a conversation about the different programs. And then I will point you in the direction of a lender that knows, or give you a selection of different lenders if there's more than one lender in your area that knows the program. And we'll get you started on the path toward home ownership. It's really seriously that simple. It won't take you more than 5 minutes to answer that survey. And I will give you a call as soon as possible, and we'll get the conversation started. So thank you for your time. I really appreciate you watching until the end. If you have additional questions, feel free to give me a call or a text. My number is area code 404-587-5661. Again, that's 404-587-5661. You can email me. My email is below. It's Yvonne J. Hunt. Don't forget the J. YvonneJHunt@gmail.com. Or you can leave a comment below. Most people I prefer the call or text. I prefer actually a text because it reminds me to call you. Checking my voicemail, I do that about once or twice a day. But the text reminds me that I need to call you. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to working with you. I'm so glad that you decided to search and find my YouTube channel. You might be looking at this on Facebook. I don't know, maybe Instagram or TikTok. I'm all over there. So look forward to hearing from you, talking to you, and getting you started on the path to homeownership. Thank you again, and I look forward to working with you. Have a blessed day.